Hey everyone, figure it's time for a quick update since just got back from Houston Methodist where I went and saw a new doctor who's going to be quarterbacking my care from here on out. But before we get into that, just as a reminder to everyone, I'm not a doctor, so everything that I say, nothing that I say should be taken as medical advice. It's just my interpretation of what I'm going through, and we're going to be talking about prostate cancer, so if that makes you uncomfortable, just know what you're getting into. I'll also want to apologize if I'm not enunciating my words or I'm mumbling a little bit more than normal today. I've got something going on with my jaw and it's just kind of really affecting my speech. So probably my mother will be the only one who understands me since I did so much mumbling as a teenager. She's probably well versed in that language. But moving on, so I went up and saw at the urging of ANCAN and Rick over there, those guys who are great, and I do recommend ancan.org to anyone who's starting any type of cancer journey. They do offer some good resources that I've taken advantage of. But Rick over at ANCAN had referred me to Dr. E at Houston Methodist. So I think that I don't know what number patient I am that he's done this for. I think he's in line to get a toaster or maybe an upgrade on his Amazon account. I don't remember what he wins for this. But I went and saw Doc E, who was very good and very gracious. We did some blood work that she reviewed with me. Also made some changes to medication. With the blood work, she says the blood work looks great. PSA is still undetectable. Everything is in line. My white blood cell counts are still kind of low. Same thing with the red blood cells. She's not too surprised by that, and she's happy with where they are based on everything I've put my body through. She did say my vitamin B levels are a bit low, so we're going to start weekly vitamin B12 injections. We're going to start out with Shelly giving me those injections. So I'm definitely going to be on my best behavior and really try not to poke the bear, or else she's going to be poking me. And it probably won't feel good. But we'll see. I haven't gotten the first shot yet, so that'll be something. Maybe I even do an episode with her giving me one of the injections. But anyway, that was really all that came out of the blood work. Diet-wise, I was a little surprised. Doc E is not in favor of the vegan diet. Plant-based is okay, but she was really just like the doc at MSK was. She was very much, hey, you need to be getting your animal proteins, not so much your animal fats. She even was, recommending poultry and even eggs. So you guys know how I feel about eggs and my hesitance there, along with the chicken, based on some studies that I had read and been briefed on by the doc from How Not to Die, and Dr. Greger, in that series. So something to consider. I've also been really struggling with fatigue, something I know my buddy Jason over at Prostate Cancer, The Road to Recovery, has struggled with. And I don't know if it's necessarily from the medication just finally building up for me, or if it's something to do with the diet. But one thing that the doc had said is, the diet does have a contribution to the fatigue, and so maybe eating some additional animal protein will help out with that. So I'll ramp some of that up, starting with the lean red meats and the fish, and then maybe I'll go into poultry. Who knows? But I'll let you know. The other thing that we're going to change is I'm going to go to an every 6 month Xgeva shot versus 3 months. She really wasn't. She was surprised that I was doing as much Xgeva as I had been, and so she wanted to change that just based on the potential for side effects. And we're also going to take me off of Eligard and put me onto Orgovix. Orgovix is does the same thing as the Eligard, except it's an oral medication once daily. The differences between the two and why she wants to put me, or why she says that she wants to put me on the Orgovix versus the Eligard, is a couple. One is Orgovix has shown to really drop the testosterone even further than the Eligard does. But two, and probably more importantly to me, she had mentioned there's a certain percentage increase in a significant cardiovascular event that is cumulative over the years with Eligard. That could be somewhere between 5 and 6%. That just adds up over time. It doesn't go away with the Orgovix, but it does get reduced to like a 2.6 cumulative. So it almost halves that. So I can take it for longer without risk of a significant cardiovascular event occurring. So that's pretty significant. So out of the original 3 medications, Erlita is the only medication that I'm still on. But so it'll now be Erlita as a daily oral medication. Then I'll be doing the every 6 months Xgeva shot and the daily oral medication for the Orgovix. And I should be getting my first bottle in next week. And we'll see how that goes. And we'll see. Also, one of the other things with Orgovix is supposedly if you're on Orgovix for a longer period of time, say you're on Orgovix for a longer period, say you're on Orgovix for 3 years. I apologize for the mumbling there. And then say you're on Eligard for 6 years, so the same period of time, and you come off. Well, your testosterone generally will come back faster if you had been on the Orgovix than you were if you were on the Eligard. So those are all the reasons of switching to Orgovix. We'll see how that goes. Interested to see how that turns out for me. The other thing as far as moving forward with the doc at Houston Methodist is in December I will go back to Houston Methodist and I'll get a different type of PSMA PET. It is a PSMA PET, but the agent won't be the Polarify. It'll be a different agent. I don't know what that agent is off the top of my head, but as soon as I do, I'll let you know. And we're also going to do a whole body MRI as well. So we'll do those scans, we'll do some additional blood work, and then I'll meet her the following day. We'll review all of that, and then we'll kind of see where we're at and kind of, where to go. So at this point, I'm really just, other than switching to the Orgovix and getting the new quarterback, I'm fighting the fatigue, trying to stay active. I really have been active, but this jaw has kind of really put me down. I think that, and it's just had my body fighting something, just get me really tired. I'm about to go take times for a swim meet here in a little bit, so I just hope I'm upright for that and can stay awake and attentive. But outside the fatigue and this jaw pain, everything has been pretty good, and I'm just kind of in a holding pattern, once every 3 months, so to speak, for the PSA tests, and then of course we'll see what happens when I go get the new scans. So life is good, keeps on trucking along. Nothing else really to report. Obviously, if you've got any questions or things for me, please put it in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer those for you. And again, thanks everybody for your prayers. My prayers are going out to my second mom, Jane, who's in North Carolina and who's been fighting through the having no water and no electricity right outside of Asheville with everybody else who's been suffering through the after effects of Helene. Hope that gets better soon. And just to those loved ones and everyone else in North Carolina, just remember that anything is possible.